Tacoma, Washington, 1986. The nightmare began on March 26. 12-year-old Michelle Welch rode her bike 3 blocks from home to Puget Park with her sisters. She returned alone for a split second, just long enough to grab sandwiches, and vanished, the lunches untouched. That night, her body was found in a nearby gulch, assaulted, beaten, throat slashed. Then on August 4th, 13-year-old Jennifer Bastian left a note for her dad. Out riding my bike, home by 6:30. She pedaled 30 blocks to Point Defiance Park. Friends waved at her around 6 p.m. as she coasted by, smiling. She did not come home. Volunteers, dogs, and helicopters tore through the brush for weeks. On August 28th, a hiker spotted a clue: Jennifer's bike, deliberately dragged off trail and buried in ferns. Just 100 yards deeper, they found Jennifer, strangled, assaulted, ambushed in broad daylight. 2 young lives, 2 bikes, 2 parks. The task force instantly linked the cases. Witnesses recalled a man 25 to 35 shadowing her. Composite sketches circulated, but profiles, polygraphs, and exhaustive detective work led only to dead ends. Decades dragged on. Then came 2013. Enter Detective Lindsay Wade, a Tacoma native who was 11 years old when the fear gripped her city. She and her partner took a fresh look at everything, but the first breakthrough was a gut punch. Retesting evidence from Jennifer's swimsuit yielded semen DNA. The killer's profile was not in the system. The twist? A cross-check against Michelle's DNA profile from 2006 proved no match. Exploding decades of single killer theory, shocking investigators and families, splintering one probe into 2. Then the tide finally turned in 2016. The team pivoted to Parabon Nanolabs for snapshot phenotyping. Using DNA, they built a portrait of the killer: white male, fair skin, light hair. The composite was plastered on billboards and TV, yet the case remained cold. Forward to 2017. They uploaded the DNA profile to GED Match, a family tree-building database. The hits were distant. The painstaking work of reverse engineering a family tree began. One name emerged: Robert Dwayne Washburn. Robert Washburn was 28 and 86. He lived 9 blocks from the Bastian family. He worked odd jobs and had a dropped prowling charge from 1985. Chillingly, decades earlier, he called police, claiming he spotted the man sketched in Michelle's case on 5 Mile Drive. In March 2017, detectives tracked him to Illinois, where they took a swab. It was a match. Washburn was arrested on May 24th at age 60, charged with first-degree murder. He received 26 years, 8 months, effectively life. Genealogy nailed Michelle's killer too. That case is linked in the comments. May the girls rest in peace. Was justice served? What's your opinion? But what is clear is that they live among us. 1986, Tacoma, Washington. A predator is on the loose. 2 girls have been murdered. It begins with 12-year-old Michelle Welch. She bikes with her younger sisters to Puget Park, just blocks from home. Michelle rides back alone, makes sandwiches, packs them in a paper bag, and returns to the park. Her sisters go to use a restroom. Minutes later, they come back. Michelle is gone. Her bike leans at the picnic table. The lunches sit untouched. By midnight, search teams sweep the park. At 11:30 p.m., a canine alerts near a fire pit. Michelle's body lies there, beaten, assaulted, killed. Stolen in broad daylight, less than a mile from home. 5 months later, 13-year-old Jennifer Bastian vanishes while biking in Point Defiance Park. Same age, same summer outing, the same brutal end in the woods. The investigation surges. Sketches are made. Tips are logged. Years turn to decades. Suspect lists swell past 160 names. In 2006, a male DNA profile is pulled from Michelle's evidence. It's run through every database, but the killer had no record. Then, in 2013, retests on Jennifer's swimsuit yield a DNA profile too. As a matter of routine, detectives compare the profiles. For decades, they had assumed a single predator, a killing spree cut short by death or prison. But the truth shocks. 2 killers had walked free for decades. The DNA does not match. Detective Lindsay Wade, a Tacoma native who lived through the fear of 1986, steps in. The team scours thousands of reports, retests evidence, and logs over 2,000 suspects. Out of options, they turn to Parabon Nanolabs. From crime scene DNA, Parabon builds a portrait of Michelle's killer, a white male of Northern European ancestry, fair skin, brown eyes, brown hair, and about 9% Native American heritage. For the first time in more than 30 years, investigators can see their target's face. Still, no leads. 2 years pass. Then science evolves again. Detectives upload Michelle's killer's DNA to the public database GEDmatch. Distant relatives appear, cousins, aunts. Genealogists trace backward through family trees, honing in on 2 brothers. Only one lived near Puget Park, but everything else pointed away from him. Registered nurse, family man, spotless record. To confirm, detectives need his DNA. Surveillance begins. They follow him to a diner. He finishes his coffee, wipes his mouth with a napkin, crumples it, and leaves it behind. A detective collects it. The state crime lab tests it. A perfect match to the crime scene DNA. Gary Hartman is charged with first-degree murder and rape. He pleads not guilty. Then, in court, he finally breaks. "I'm so sorry," he weeps. "God knows I'm so sorry." The judge sentences him to more than 26 years. Michela's mother is absolute. Lock him up and throw away the key. Wade retires, but champions Jennifer and Michela's law, signed in 2019, mandating DNA from convicted offenders. May Michela and Jennifer rest in peace. Was justice served? You decide. One truth remains: they live among us. March 17, 1987, St. Patrick's Day in Colorado Springs. Two patrol officers wrapping up their shift spot something pale against the snow behind the Korean Club restaurant. It's not trash. It's the body of 20-year-old Army Specialist Darlene. Crash shock. Half naked, jeans tangled around one ankle, a single boot by her head. A black leather strap circles her neck. A wire coat hanger, twisted like a horse's bridle, is looped through her mouth. Tire tracks in the snow. 3 cigarette butts lay near the body. The killer took a smoke break. Darlene was a soldier at Fort Carson, a mechanic. The night before, she was at Shuffle's nightclub a mile away, laughing with friends. They left early. She stayed. A witness saw her leave around midnight with a stranger. By morning, she was gone. The autopsy was brutal. Raped, beaten, strangled so violently it ruptured her organs. The case landed with the Colorado Springs Homicide Unit. Among them was Sergeant Joe Kenda, a name you might know from Homicide Hunter. Back then, he was a cop, standing in that frozen alley, staring at the hangar, the snow, the brutality. Years later, he'd tell a courtroom that scene never left him. For months, detectives chased leads, over 100 interviews, hair samples, cigarette butts, nothing. The case went cold, but police did not quit. By 2003, a partial DNA profile emerged, not enough to name a killer. The case went cold again. In 2016, Army Forensic Labs took another shot. They pulled a full male DNA profile from cigarette butts and Darlene's clothing. No match in CODIS. So they turned to Parabon Nanolabs, who did something new. They built the killer's face from DNA. Hazel eyes, brown hair, white male. The composite went public with a $10,000 reward. Tips came in, none stuck. In 2019, detectives tried something new: genetic genealogy. Experts traced distant cousins, and after months of digging through records, 2 family lines pointed to a 58-year-old man who was 26 years old in 1987. Back then, he was stationed at Fort Carson, 3 miles from the crime scene. Detectives followed him, intending to collect a DNA sample. One afternoon, he tossed a soda cup at a fast food joint. They grabbed it. DNA from the straw matched the semen on Darlene's body. After 32 years, the monster had a name: Michael White, a 20-year Army vet, married, no criminal record. On June 13, 2019, White was arrested. Arrogantly, he took the stand in his own defense and denied ever even seeing Darlene. A jury gave him life without parole for first-degree murder. At sentencing, he stared ahead and said, "I didn't kill Darlene Krashok, nothing else." The evidence said otherwise. May Darlene rest in peace. Her family waited decades for justice. Do you think they got it? Let us know in the comments. And do you think the composite looked like him? Let us know, and please like and subscribe.